Have you ever felt like people around you became quieter, less open, or even slowly distant, but never told you why? Growing older should be a beautiful journey of wisdom, yet sometimes, without realizing it, we carry habits that push others away. This is not to judge, but to gently awaken. Point number 1. Complaining constantly. As we grow older, pain and challenges often multiply, in our bodies, in our families, in our hearts. It's understandable to vent. But when every conversation turns into a catalog of aches, regrets, and disapproval, it slowly exhausts those who listen. Not because they don't care, but because the weight becomes too much to carry every time. The world is already heavy. People, even loved ones, seek lightness when they come close. Often, we may not notice it. We may think we're just talking, but if each word sounds like bitterness, it leaves others drained. Young people especially struggle to stay engaged with elders who always seem upset or negative. They want to connect with our stories, but not our storms. And over time, they pull away, not out of disrespect, but out of quiet fatigue. Instead of always sharing what's wrong, try to recall what once was right. Talk about hope. Celebrate small joys. Share not just the burden, but the beauty. It softens the atmosphere and invites people back to your circle. 2. Speaking without listening. Wisdom is not just what we say, it's also how we listen. Many older adults speak with great authority, forgetting that conversations are two-way bridges. If we always interrupt, insist we're right, or dismiss the thoughts of others as naive, it sends a message, only my voice matters. Over time, children, grandchildren, or friends may grow silent around us. Not because they have nothing to say, but because they feel unheard. They learn that sharing their thoughts leads only to correction, not connection. And slowly, emotional distance grows like moss on a wall, thick, quiet, and cold. Real listening invites intimacy. Ask more questions. Let silence sit for a moment before replying. Even if you disagree, listen anyway. Listening says, you matter to me, and that, at any age, is what keeps hearts close. 3. Belittling the younger generation. It's easy to see the flaws in a world that has changed so rapidly. Perhaps manners seem lost, priorities confused, or values distorted. But when every comment is filled with contempt for kids these days, it creates an invisible wall. Criticism without compassion isolates. Young people already live in a loud, harsh world. What they long for from elders is not more judgment, but understanding. When an older person says, "Back in my day," it should be followed with love, not a lecture. Otherwise, it feels like rejection, not reflection. Try offering encouragement instead. Share your experiences with warmth, not superiority. A wise elder lifts, they don't crush. Be someone younger hearts run to, not away from. 4. Talking only about the past. Memories are treasures. But when every conversation gets stuck in the past, it tells others you're no longer present. You're here, but not here. You're living in yesterday, not today. Loved ones may smile as you retell stories from long ago, but inside, they wonder, do you still care about now? About what they're doing, what's happening in the world, what tomorrow could bring. When our stories don't evolve, relationships don't either. Yes, tell the stories, they matter. But also ask about the present. Share thoughts on today's joys, ideas, and even dreams. You are still writing your story. Let your words reflect that you're alive, not just remembering when you were. 5. Being overly controlling. After a lifetime of decision-making, it's hard to let go. We want what's best, for our children, our home, even our grandchildren. But often, that desire for guidance turns into control. And control, even when disguised as love, pushes people away. You might think, I'm just helping, but others may feel suffocated. Adults, especially your own grown children, want to feel trusted. If every action is second-guessed, every decision challenged, it slowly breeds resentment, not respect. Let go, just a little. Let them stumble, choose, and grow. Your wisdom is still valuable, offer it when asked, not imposed. Trust is love in action. 6. Ignoring personal hygiene or appearance. Aging makes everything harder, getting up, moving around, even caring for ourselves. But neglecting hygiene or dressing with care can silently affect how others see and treat us. It's not about vanity. It's about dignity. Loved ones may not say anything, out of politeness. But discomfort grows when body odor is noticeable, or when clothes are dirty or unkempt. It makes connection harder. Not because people are cruel, but because they don't know how to respond. Caring for your appearance isn't about impressing others, it's about honoring yourself. When you present yourself with respect, others follow suit. You remain someone to admire, not to avoid. 7. Being inflexible. Old age often brings certainty, we know what we like, how we like it, when we want it. But rigidity can create distance. If every plan must follow your preference, if every suggestion is met with a no, it becomes exhausting to include you. Life continues to flow, change, and surprise. The more flexible you are, the more invitations you'll receive. When elders adapt, it tells others, I still want to live with you, not just near you. Try saying yes more often. Try that new food. Visit that strange new cafe. Let your heart remain young, not by age, but by openness. 8. Gossiping or speaking ill of others. Idle talk, especially about family or neighbors, might seem harmless. But words have power. Gossip breaks trust, especially when others fear you might talk about them when they leave the room. It might start as a joke, or concern. But when it becomes a habit, it makes people cautious. They begin to limit what they share. Conversations grow shallow. The warmth of intimacy is replaced by the coldness of suspicion. Speak well of others, even when they're not present. Let your words protect, not pierce. You'll find people drawing near, knowing that their heart is safe in your presence. 9. Dwelling on death. Mortality is real. And at a certain age, it becomes a daily thought. But constantly talking about death, illness, or not having much time left, can make others uncomfortable. Not because they deny reality, but because they want to celebrate your life, not anticipate your funeral. Loved ones want to enjoy moments with you. They want to hear your laughter, not just your fears. When death becomes the center of conversation, it overshadows the joy of still being here. Face mortality with grace, but live with presence. Your life is not over, it's still unfolding. Let others remember you by your vitality, not your fear. 10. Playing the victim. Yes, life brings pain. And sometimes, unfair things happen. But when we constantly paint ourselves as the one who is always wronged, unappreciated, or misunderstood, it can repel others. People want empathy, not endless sympathy. If every story ends with, they don't care about me, it slowly becomes a wall. And others, even if they care deeply, feel helpless to break through. Try shifting the story. Acknowledge your hurt, but also your strength. Share your resilience, not just your wounds. People admire survivors, not just sufferers. 11. Refusing to learn new things. Technology, culture, even language, the world is evolving fast. When elders refuse to learn, or mock new trends, they slowly become outsiders in their own families. It becomes harder to bond. You don't have to master every app or trend. But showing curiosity, asking questions, learning bit by bit, opens doors. It tells others, I still care about your world, not just mine. Be the elder who keeps learning. It keeps your mind young, and your relationships alive. 12. Forgetting to say thank you. Gratitude is a magnet for love. And yet, Many older adults forget to say it. They assume help is owed. They expect service. They stop appreciating the little gestures. Over time, this creates emotional distance. Helpers feel unseen. Acts of love feel transactional. And relationships lose their sparkle. Say thank you. Often. With warmth. With meaning. Let your gratitude be the light that invites people to keep showing up. Because love, when acknowledged, multiplies. Conclusion: a mirror, not a hammer. We do not age into perfection. We age into truth. And truth, though sometimes uncomfortable, is a gift. This video was never meant to shame, only to awaken. To hold up a mirror, not swing a hammer. Because the habits we carry in old age don't just affect others. They shape the quality of the years we have left. It's easy to say, I've lived long enough, I don't need to change. But the heart, if still beating, is still growing. Still capable of blooming again. People may not always say what they feel around you. They may hide their discomfort behind smiles. But inside, they remember how you make them feel, warm, or weary. And those feelings determine whether they stay close, or drift silently away. We often wonder why calls grow fewer. Why visits become shorter. Why laughter feels forced. And sometimes, the answer lies not in them, but in us. Age should bring softness, not sharp edges. Grace, not bitterness. Curiosity, not control. When we hold on to unhelpful habits, complaining, controlling, criticizing, we unknowingly build fences. And then we sit inside them, lonely, wondering why the world feels distant. But here's the miracle: fences can be taken down. One gentle change at a time. One conscious choice to love better. Because love at this age is not just about giving advice. It's about giving presence. And presence is the greatest gift we can offer. The truth is, people don't distance themselves from old age, they distance themselves from the habits that feel hard to be around. And when those habits shift, hearts return. Warmth returns. So do conversations, smiles, long hugs at the door. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be open. Open to see what you haven't seen before. Open to admit, maybe I've been doing this without knowing it. Open to say, I want to be better. Not just older, better. There is a kind of beauty that only comes with humility. And humility doesn't mean shame. It means surrender. Surrender to the idea that growth never ends. Some of the most beloved elders are not those with the most stories. But those with the most kindness in how they tell them. It's never too late to change how we show up. How we speak. How we respond. How we love. People remember the feeling you leave behind, not just your words. And feelings linger longer than memories. So ask yourself gently. What kind of feeling do I leave in a room when I walk away? Do I leave heaviness, or peace? Do I leave silence, or safety? Do I leave fear, or fondness? These questions aren't there to punish us. They are there to wake up our better selves. Because our better self is still in there, underneath the habit, beneath the hurt. You are still here. Still breathing. Still capable of joy, laughter, connection, and light. Old age is not the end. It's the edge of something sacred, legacy. And legacy is not built from things or titles. It's built from the way you made people feel when they were near you. Every thank you becomes a thread. Every kind silence becomes a foundation. Every choice to listen becomes a bridge. You are the elder now. The lighthouse. The safe shore. But a lighthouse must shine. Not flash warnings of thunder, but radiate peace. So today, choose one habit to release. One word to speak softer. One judgment to set down. You will feel the shift first inside your chest, like a weight lifting. And others will feel it too, like sunlight coming through a long-closed window. Your presence can still heal. Your smile can still change a room. Your humility can still transform a relationship. Let them say of you, "She made me feel safe. He always listened." They became softer with time. That is real wisdom. That is what it means to grow old, and beautiful. So begin today. Let love lead. And watch how everything begins to return. Not because you demanded it, but because you became someone they longed to come home to. And as you sit in stillness, perhaps with a hand resting over your heart, you may feel it beating not just for you, but for all those you've touched. Each rhythm a reminder, you are still here for a reason. Not merely to exist, but to embody something sacred. Something the world quietly longs for but rarely finds: presence. Presence is not loud. It doesn't arrive with noise or pride. It arrives with patience. With eyes that truly see. With arms that no longer need to prove strength, only offer it. There is power in slowing down. In walking through a room with intention. In listening not to reply, but to understand. In loving someone, not to change them, but to witness their growth. That is elderhood. Not age, but awakening. You are no longer racing. Let the younger ones run. Let them stumble, fall, and rise again. Your job now is to be the still water they come to when they thirst. The quiet they seek when the world gets too loud. You don't need to have all the answers. Only a heart wide enough to hold their questions. You don't need perfect words. Only your full attention. And that is rare. That is beautiful. Perhaps today, you write a letter to someone you've forgiven silently. Or you sit in the sun and bless your own name for surviving. Perhaps you finally say, "I'm proud of who I've become." Because you should be. You've carried so much, and still choose gentleness. Even now, your life is still teaching. In how you rise from a chair. In how you respond to being interrupted. In how you sit with sorrow without rushing it away. The world watches elders with more curiosity than it admits. And when you choose peace over pride. Softness over sharpness. Wisdom over noise. You become a mirror of what we all hope to become. Not just older, but fuller. Deeper. Truer. So keep offering your stories, even if your voice shakes. Keep blessing others, even when your hands ache. Keep showing up. Keep forgiving. Keep loving, without keeping score. One day, someone will sit in your chair. Wishing they had asked more. Wishing they had watched closer. Wishing they had said thank you. Let them remember you as someone who gave without needing applause. That is how a legacy is woven. Not from grand gestures. But from small moments made holy by intention. From the warmth left behind in every room you leave. From the echo of kindness in someone else's memory. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are not fading, you are distilling. Concentrating into the purest version of who you've always been. Still here. Still shining. Still sacred. So breathe. And let that breath be your quiet offering to the world. You don't need to chase greatness. Just keep walking in grace. And the world will come closer, not because of your power. But because of your peace. Would you like this piece formatted for voiceover, added to a video script, or turned into a visual carousel or quote cards?